What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back here on Madden 25 here for another rebuild, and we're going to be talking about the other quarterback prospect. We just did one on Friday with Shedeur Sanders, and now we're doing one with Cam Ward from Miami. And as it sits currently, the Las Vegas Raiders will be selecting #1 overall after the loss to the Bucks over the weekend. So let's just go ahead and jump in and do a Cam Ward Las Vegas Raiders rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. I'm also recording this right before the Bengals and Cowboys game tonight. I'm going to be either very happy or very upset after tonight because I have 3 players left in the game. I need a total of 21 points combined to make the fantasy playoffs. I've never missed the playoffs in my entire fantasy career. I hope it doesn't start now. But yeah, I need 21 points. I had Josh Allen saved my life, but that's besides the point. Just gonna tell you kind of where I'm at right now. But I'm also shocked to see that this is on Monday Night Football, the Raiders' next game. Raider is expected to start. Obviously, AOC got hurt, but it's a double header, I guess, next Monday. But with that all being said, ranted a little bit too much at the top. Here is obviously the Raiders' offense. You got, not a lot to like here. Jacoby Myers, obviously, Madison, Zamir, White. They've had a running back, I forget his name, McCormick, who's been really good lately, but he's not even on the depth chart right now. Brock Bowers obviously is the shining star here, and we're excited about having him going forward. And defensively, obviously Maxx Crosby is a stud. You do have a couple guys in the secondary that you can kind of keep going forward, but for the most part, there's a lot of rebuilding to do for this Raiders team. So let's just without further ado, let's submit the rest of year 1. Hopefully we can draft Cam Ward in the draft, and that's where it will all begin for us. We finished the season at 4-13, which is obviously expected. And go take a look at the player stats in the season, although I'm not really sure this is going to matter too much. I guess we can look at like Brock Bowers stats, obviously, but Minshew, yeah, obviously quarterback play is a really bad problem for the Raiders right now. They had Derek Carr, moved on from him. It seemed like they were going to draft a quarterback. They missed out on pretty much all of them, unfortunately, like J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, all went before their selection. And then Madison, yeah. So like, there's a lot to obviously re-haul here. Brock Bowers is going to be a stud going forward. Myers is still a solid piece, but we could also trade him this offseason potentially. Sacks wise, again, Maxx Crosby is a stud. We could look into trading him too if we wanted to. So we'll kind of see, man. I might look into trading Maxx Crosby. I'm not going to lie to you, but let's just go ahead and as always, let's start with the re-signing stage. We have $134 million. Nate Hobbs. We have Trayvon Moehrig, Robert Spillane. We have Jordan Meredith, Malcolm Kuntz, Chasen, and then Alexander Masson, and then Marcus Epps. So obviously, I think at the top we're gonna re-sign the 2 guys in the secondary. Moehrig and Nate Hobbs are 2 guys I do want to stick around. Obviously, I don't want really Nate Hobbs to be the cornerback 1, but I think if he's a corner 2, I think that's pretty solid. So Trayvon Moehrig up to a superstar, that's a no-brainer. We got to make sure we keep him around for the Raiders as well. That's gonna be good too. So that's gonna be our first 2 re-signings. Robert Spillane at 29 years old, we can bring him back, but I'm not gonna spend him. I'm not gonna send him too much money. If he wants to come back, yeah, so that's fine. You can always be depth going forward, and I think that's gonna be all we re-sign. I'm gonna let everyone else walk, and let's just get straight into free agency. And as usual for the last 2 rebuilds we've done, it's all been about just grabbing starters as much as possible, grabbing young players who can maybe develop into the system you have. So that is what I plan on doing. I'm going to sign as many young players I feel as possible. But Brock Bowers up to superstar X Factors off a rookie season is incredible. So the offensive line is actually pretty solid on the left side. The right side could use some work. I believe Parham's a young guard, if I'm not mistaken, 26. So we might still look into replacing him. But obviously quarterback will be our first selection. And on the defense side of football, you have Moehrig, Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones, Smith. You got Christian Wilkins, who I forgot got hurt earlier in the season for the Raiders too. Crosby's 28, so I guess I'll keep him for this season, but we'll definitely look in the future of maybe trading him away. We'll see, or we still could do it, but I'm gonna hit free agency first, kind of see what we can get there, and then we'll figure it out. So we've made 5 offers here in free agency. Nobody for, or like nothing too crazy here. But we have Jordan Mason we're going for. We're going for Brandon Stevens, Jaquan McMillan, Baron Browning, and Levi. I don't think we're going to get a lot of these guys. They're not, like I said, it's nothing too crazy here. Simply, it's just basically starters, as you guys can see. So we'll see if we can get lucky. It looks like the Texans are going to get Baron Browning, unfortunately. And not a lot of these guys have interest in coming to the Raiders. But we'll see what happens after we submit the first stage. So we get Mason and Brandon Stevens, so I'll take that. So Jordan Mason, Brandon Stevens, and then Jaquan McMillan and Levi are still thinking about their options. So unfortunately, we do not land Baron Browning. He goes somewhere else, which I kind of expected to be the case. So I'm going to offer a little bit more on Jaquan McMillan, who's only 25 years old, who could really develop for us. So we're going to see if we can get him. May not be able to get him. And I'll offer a little bit more for Levi, but I'm not, like I said, nothing too crazy here. So McMillan, I don't think we're going to get either one of them, to be honest. So, yeah, we did get McMillan. So our cornerback room gets a little bit better. I still think if we can get a cornerback one, that would be ideal, but we're not going to be able to do it in this draft. So let's take a look at the team. We really didn't address a lot of things we needed. We got a new running back, which is nice, and Jordan Mason. We have Jacoby Myers. We have Trey Tucker. The offensive line still needs help. We still need another wide receiver. So a lot of things to address and not a lot to work with. So low key, I might trade Maxx Crosby, man. I really might. I just feel like there's just so many things we need and just not enough avenues to fill it. So I think it makes sense to look into it, especially if we can get like 2 first services. I'm just going to go ahead and see what would happen if we try to trade away Maxx Crosby, what the offers would be. So let's get some offers. So Jalen Johnson, Vita Vea, Sam Cosmi, which, you know, a second round pick from Washington, which would give us a really good young guard. But Devontae Smith, wow, Jahmyr Gibbs, oh my goodness, Elton Jenkins, JC Horn in a second. Ideally, the Patriots on me, Chris Gonzalez, Kyron in a first. Wow, that's pretty wild, but we did get Jordan Mason. Peyton Wilson, the 20th overall pick. Nah, Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner is intriguing at 22 years old, and we get the 11th overall pick. That's next year's draft, though. That's not this one. So, getting Dallas Turner is intriguing. I'm going to see if I can build my own trade. These are some solid offers, but nothing that I like too much that I want to just jump on just yet. I do kind of like the Washington trade in a way. So let's see. Do I have to just... I have to submit it as is. Okay, so I have to accept it as is. Actually, we can counter offer. So let's counter offer this. And let's remove, like... Let's say, so Cosme, a second, and that's in this draft. If we can walk away with a first from them, I would do it. A second and a first from this draft, plus Sam Cosme, I think I would do that. But I don't know if they're going to go to that level. So let's see if they would. So a draft pick, which is the 25th overall pick. So it would give us, and then I'll try for their other first two. As a Commanders fan, I wouldn't do this in real life, but I mean, if they would do it in Madden, I'm gonna try this. So, it's kind of there. We could actually maybe make this happen. So, is there anything I could swap them? Maybe I can swap them like a third or something. I can give them a third. We're getting a second as well. Does that make any difference at all? Not really. So, you know what? We'll just go with the first and the second and Sam Cosme in this draft. Let's see if they would do it. So close to accepting it. I think all we really need to do is throw in like a 6th or something. They'd probably accept this trade. So close. Let's go 4th, and 4th may be a little too... Actually, it's fine. It's no big deal. So we do get Cosme, so we address our right side of the offensive line, and we get a couple picks in this draft. So we trade Maxx Crosby, which sucks. You know, obviously Crosby is a fantastic Raider, but I definitely think that was necessary because we're going to need some extra picks in this draft in order to keep building forward. So obviously, James Power Johnson, well, I don't know what he's supposed to be. He's a center. And is Andre James a center too? He must be. So we'll obviously move one of those guys around. Andre James is also a center. So we'll move one of them around to right guard. Probably move the younger guy to right guard or to left guard or whatever. And that will fix that. So feel okay about that. I also might trade away Christian Wilkins, even though he just got here, obviously. But I still think, well, we might have to keep him because of his contract. We'll have to see what that looks like. But other than that, if I do trade Christian Wilkins, I'll show you guys that. But we might just head straight in the draft with our extra picks that we have to address this roster going forward. All right, so jumping straight into the draft, assuming we're going to be picking 1 or 2. Oh, we get the 5th overall pick. Damn, so we fell down the board quite a bit. I highly doubt Cam Ward falls to us if I had to guess. Let's see if he does, though. And he doesn't. So the Giants end up taking him. So what we'll do is we'll select Shedeur Sanders here, but we'll swap Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders with the Giants. So because we already did Shedeur video, so we're going to send him to the Giants, and this will be Cam Ward, obviously, once we make that happen. But now we get to pick also at 25, so let's go ahead and see what we can get there. Hopefully we can get somebody pretty solid. I mean, there's a lot of different things we could take here, so let's just go see if we can make the best of these Crosby picks that we got. So obviously we're not going to take another quarterback here. We have Malachi Starks, who actually could make some sense. Isaiah Bond out of Texas. We got Tyler Booker, Evan Stewart out of Oregon, Patrick Payton, Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State, and then you have Tez Johnson out of Oregon. So there is some solid options here, but who do we want to take? There's also Takari Davis down the board a little bit too. So out of all these, I'm obviously not taking a quarterback or running back or anything like that. Malachi Starks, let's see what he's looking like. So B-man coverage, B tackle. So this would give us a strong safety going forward next to Trayvon Moehrig. I don't mind this. I'm actually going to go ahead and take our strong safety here. So welcome to the Raiders. He's going to be number 19 in true value. We've got a hidden dev, strong safety for the future. So I love that first round pick we just made. Or a couple of our first. We're obviously going to have Cam Ward Now we're going to have 2 seconds as well. So let's make the best of these also. So let's see what we got going on here. So we got Ashton Jeanty, Carson Beck, Isaiah Bond. Isaiah Bond could make some sense out of Texas. Also Tez Johnson, who's really small, but is a really good, dynamic playmaker. So not liking what I see out of Woody Washington. But we do need another wide receiver in this building. So D catching is a little sus. But I know Isaiah Bond's a good player. We also have Mason Taylor. We don't need a tight end, obviously. That's the least of our concerns. We do have a Ole Miss. Ooh, this guy has to be the pick, I think. So we're going to take Princely. I don't know how to say the last name, but I think this will be the next selection. So we're going to get number 74 in true value. He is only normal dev. He looked really good grades-wise, but maybe a dud pick there, unfortunately. Let's go see what number 57 is looking like. So we're also going to be picking here. And then I think we'll have 2 third-rounders also, which is nice. So tight end, Tyler Warren, Kyron Lacey, Malachi Moore, Jabbar Muhammad, Deontay Lawson, and then Kobe Bryant out of Kansas. Ooh, there's some good options here. Kobe Bryant actually could be pretty solid here. This would give us our corner of the future as well. So I am going to go ahead and take Kobe Bryant here. This will be our next pick. Number 88 in true value, draft him at 57, but I know he's a damn good corner out of Kansas, so I'm happy with that selection regardless. I actually know a little bit about him. And then let's just make the best of these last 3 picks, or last 2, I should say. So we got Woody Washington, Kyron Lacey. Do we take Kyron Lacey out of LSU? I think we do at this point. We need another wide receiver for Cam Ward, so we'll take the LSU guy. He is only going to be number 53 true value, only normal dev. So we aren't getting any much hidden dev, which is a little disappointing, but we're still, getting young players that can always develop into that still, also. So let's see what we can do at 73. So we got Jalen Walker, which actually could make some sense here. We got left guard. We got corners. We're not gonna take another corner, obviously. So what else we got? Let's take a look at Jalen Walker to Georgia. A pursuit, C tackle, D zone. Think this will be the pick. So we're feeling good about this draft. We got a massive haul. We got brought in a bunch of players. 10 dev, speed rusher. Obviously, kind of replaced who Maxx Crosby was. Probably won't be as good, but still feeling pretty okay about that first off season. We're gonna have to move some things around a little bit. But we'll get Cam Ward on the team, and we'll have a solid foundation going forward. So we'll see how year number 2 goes with Crosby gone and all the changes we have made. So here's our lineup for year number 2. Obviously, Cam Ward will be the quarterback with Jordan Mason, Jacoby Myers, Kyron Lacey's in there as well, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, Glaze, Cosme, James Power Johnson, and Colt Miller. On the defense side of football, you have Trayvon Moehrig, Walker, Eichenberg, Spillane, Wilson, Malachi Starks, Jack Jones, Wilkins, Cross. There's currently a lot more work still to be done, but overall, I'm okay with that first offseason. I don't think it was too bad. So hopefully Cam Ward can have a really good rookie season for us, and we can just kind of, develop the young guys. That's all basically year 2 is going to be about. We're not going to be a playoff team more than likely, so hopefully we just see guys play well, have some hidden development traits go up, and that would be a great, continued start to this rebuild process for this Raiders team. So at the end of the season, we actually finished up at 8-9, which is pretty solid for the most part, especially obviously after, trading away Maxx Crosby and kind of rehauling the roster. So I can actually live with that. Offensively, 30th in the NFL, so I'm assuming our defense was better in this regard. And yeah, but nothing too crazy. 21-13 from Cam Ward. He had 800 yards and 16 touchdowns from Jordan Mason, so that's good. Jacoby Myers, 9 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Kyron Lacey was good as a rookie too. Brock Bowers continues to do his thing. Sack-wise, we got 7.5 sack from Wilkins, 5 from Tyree Wilson. I just realized that's Tyree Wilson. I forgot the Raiders drafted him pretty high. Howard Cross. Yeah, a lot more work still to be done, but Spillane with 9 interceptions. Holy moly. Okay, shout out to Robert Spillane. Might get a superstar dev trait with that. So yeah, I'm glad we kept him around because he had a damn good season. Obviously, we're not in the playoffs unless we somehow got the bye. No, obviously. But all right, let's get into the offseason, continue to build on this roster. But overall, I think season number 2 was a success, going 8-9, which is not something I anticipated whatsoever. And we could be pretty happy about that. So, obviously, the rest continued is to keep building up this roster, starting with the resigning stage as usual, and then free agency, and then the draft. And hopefully we can build like a playoff team this offseason. With $147 million in cap space, I think we could definitely cook something up. So let's go see what the free agents will be. So we got Jacoby Myers, who is a free agent. Jack Jones is a free agent. We have Colton Miller is a free agent. Jameer White. And after that, it's actually not too terrible. We can let the rest of these guys go. We can bring our punter back, I guess, too. So bring AJ Cole back to keep Carlson. Oh, he says no. I'm not going to franchise tag a punter. That'd be wild. Oh, Carlson's a free agent, too. Well, we'll see if we can get Carlson to come back, and he will come back. All right. Jacoby Myers, I do think you keep, Might as well just keep him around, I guess, at this point. If he would have been a guy on a 1 year deal left, I probably would have looked into trading him. But, since he's about the free agent, we're going to lose him for nothing. We can go ahead and resign him. Cole Miller, I think that's obviously a must resign as well. So we get him back. That'd be fantastic. Keep the offensive line intact. All right, so we're going into free agency with $100 million in cap space, which feels good. So let's go see what the roster's looking like. Let's see if any dev trades happened, and let's go see who's a free agent after that. So let's take a look. I'm assuming Spillane has to have superstar at this point, but Brock Bowers, as we know, is already superstar X Factor. Mason didn't go up. I thought he might with those 16 touchdowns, but he didn't, unfortunately. The Lacey, Trey Tucker. I do like what Kyron Lacey's brought to the table, but I do think we need another wide receiver, clearly. Right tackle will also be a need on the offense. Defensively, Spillane, as I thought, is up to superstar, and then Walker is up to star. Wilkins, Starks is up to star, which is good. So our secondary looks pretty solid. I was hoping Kobe Bryant, he is in the depth chart now, so he might eventually become something. But overall, pretty happy with this. So all we really need to do now is, get in free agency and start to figure out what we're going to be doing next with the rest of this team. We've been very busy in this free agency, and this is all the guys we're going for. So we're going for Doffaway, Braden Smith, Jamison Williams, DJ Reader, and Ivan Pace. And we have a really good lead on all 5, so I think there's a chance we actually get all 5 here in this free agency class, which would be fantastic. So, no, I'm wrong. We get Doffaway and Braden Smith, unfortunately, but we don't get Ivan Pace. We are still in the running for Jamison Williams, and then I forgot the other guy we were going for. So, no Ivan Pace. And then, who was the other dude? I don't even know, to be honest with you. Targeted. Well, we missed out on him, whoever it was. I already forgot, which is just kind of embarrassing. Oh, it was DJ Reader. That's right. So he goes to the Raiders. Malcolm Roach. We probably have to draft our D tackle, I guess. But I do really want James Williams really badly. So hopefully we can still get him. We'll see. Titans are in the running with us. And of course he goes to Tennessee. I think I've lost. We can get Christian Watson, I guess, who very similar. Not quite the wide receiver one I'm looking for, but at this point, I'll take it, I guess, and he will not decide yet. So we're going to have to wait until the draft. But if we can't get Christian Watson, which we could withdraw the offer on him, and I might, we could look into just trading for a wide receiver, which might be the best thing to do because obviously getting superstar wide receivers really helps out your young quarterback, and that's what we want to do. I also want to make sure we change it to a playbook that really uses Brock Bowers a lot. So that might be the Chiefs, who obviously have Kelsey, although they haven't used him that much this year. But yeah, wide receiver 1 is the main thing I'm seeing on this offense we absolutely need. Defensively, there's obviously still some things that could be needed, like a D tackle. We didn't get a middle linebacker either. Obviously, Jalen Walker is going to start with Tyree Wilson. But yeah, so still a lot we need to take care of. Let's go take a look at middle linebackers as well really quickly in free agency. There was definitely a couple of guys I could have gotten, and I missed out on Ivan Pace. So let's not miss out on anyone else. So, middle linebacker, Micah McFadden, Nicholas Morrow, who played for the Raiders once upon a time, I believe. Barnes. I'm going to go for, I guess, Micah McFadden. It's better than Eichenberg at this point. So, we'll go take a look to see if we could trade for. Might not even get Micah McFadden. The Bears might get him. So, let's see. Or we can't even look into it. So, probably see you guys in draft night, and hopefully we can make a trade for a wide receiver before the draft, but we'll see. If not, we might just stick with what we got, unfortunately. So I'm trading a plethora of draft picks to get T. Higgins on this team. I think T. Higgins obviously makes a ton of sense. The Bengals also drafted McMillan out of Arizona, so they don't even need T. Higgins services anymore, really. So we're trading 2 seconds and a third in the future. Obviously, the rest of those are just garbage draft. Well, not really garbage, but they're draft picks, right? And normally you don't do this, but Madden makes it really hard to make realistic trades. You have to include a crap ton of stuff to make anything happen, but that addresses one of our needs. So we won't have a second round pick, but obviously getting T. Higgins with Cam Ward is fantastic. I think that's going to help out a ton. So I'm very happy with that. That really kind of completes the offense. Defensively, we did get McFadden, so that's nice. Defensively, the main thing we need is a D tackle. That's the main spot I'm looking at. That's like our weakest position. So we're going to go see if we can get a D tackle in this draft right now, and hopefully there's a good one or a talented one, because that's our main need. So we won't have the greatest pick. We'll be picking at 10, so we're in the top 10 at least. So let's go see what 10th overall we'd be looking at for a D tackle if there is one. So Corleone goes off the board. Let's go see what D tackle is looking like here. Is there anybody else? We do have one down the board. We have Anthony Hill, Kendrick Folk, Carnell Tate. We have Caleb Downs, but I'm looking at DJ Hicks here out of Texas A&M, and I think this is the pick. So we're going to be taking our D tackle. That addresses our defense, and he's going to be hitting depth. So that's what we wanted. We'll let the assistant GM take care of the rest of this draft, and I'll see you guys for the lineup for Season 3. So the lineup for season number 3 is looking like this. You have Cam Ward as the quarterback, Jordan Mason, T. Higgins, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, Carmen Lacey, you have Brock Bowers, Braden Smith, Cosme. I mean, it's a really good O-line, so I'm feeling good about what our O-line is looking like at this point. Should be able to protect Cam Ward. Defensively, you have Jalen Walker, Doffaway. We got our D tackle in town, which is good. Malachi Stark's going to be a really good pick, which is nice. So the one thing I do want to fix on the offense, which I guess we'll see what the best scheme is, but I really want to use a playbook that really is going to utilize Brock Bowers. And the only playbook that I know for a fact that might do that is Kansas City. So I am going to go use Casey's playbook, which seems like a little bit of a cheat code because obviously it ends up working out. The Bengals or the Chiefs, usually when you use a really good playbook, it benefits you. You're a really good team. But I really want to use Brock Bowers a lot. So hopefully that ends up being the case. He gets like 1,000 yards or even more than that because he should be the number 1 guy we're going after. So let's simulate year number 3. And hopefully, maybe we can make the playoffs. I mean, we went 8-9 last year. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we could be a playoff team this year, honestly, which would be kind of cool. So at the end of the season, we actually do make the playoffs at 11-6. And we get to play our fellow division rival, the Denver Broncos, in round 1. And yeah, as I saw, Brock Bowers was heavily utilized, which we wanted. And T. Higgins was great too. And we get to deal with the Broncos in round 1. So this should be fun. But they actually won the division. And then the Chargers and the Chiefs missed the playoffs at 10-7. That is crazy. This conference was insane this year. Wow. We got really lucky to even be in this point. So let's go take a look at the player stats. So offensively, we're 9th in the NFL. That comes with the territory of changing the playbook to Kansas City. Defensively, top 15 as well. 46-18 from Cam Ward. Incredible. Mason, 5 touchdowns and 779 yards. Cam Ward also ran for a little bit. T. Higgins, Jacoby Myers were both 1,000-yard wide receivers, and Brock Bowers, as I mentioned, I wanted him to become an 1,000-yard wide receiver, and he was utilized as so. Missed 1,000-yard mark by 1 yard, unfortunately. But Doffaway, free agency addition, 10 sacks, 6.5 from our rookie, which is fantastic. He had 4 interceptions from Robert Spillane, who just continues to be a ball hawk at that middle linebacker spot, and Starks had 3 as well. Well, with that all being said, we played Denver in round 1, so let's go see if we can maybe upset the Broncos at Mile High Field. Now, before we jump into this game, I have one thing to say about the Raiders. They need an all-black uniform, in my opinion, man. Like, they have, like, an all-white uniform, right? And they have, like, white on gray. But why don't we have, like, an all-black and silver uniform for the Raiders just yet? And I'm not saying silver pants. I mean, black pants, black... Dude, that would be so badass. I don't understand why it hasn't happened yet. Eventually, it's going to happen. And I'm going to take credit for it. Just kidding. But we get a stop on defense, and we will go up 7-0. So, good start. I will take that. Another stop on defense, and we're up 14-0. So offense is playing great so far. They missed the extra point on their touchdown. We're up 21-6 on our fellow division rival. It's going to be 21-16. Don't let them back in. We got to go score here. An interception and good field position. It looked like good field position, but we're going to go up 28-16. It's a little bit of a scare there for a second. I thought they were going to get back in the game, but ultimately, round 1, first game with Cam Ward in the playoffs. We win. We beat the Broncos. We're on to the next one. I forgot Sean Payton isn't in Madden anymore, I don't think, but Bo Nix gets out played by Cam Ward, and now we're on to the next round. So after the massive wildcard win against the Denver Broncos, we're on the road to Buffalo in the divisional round, which obviously Josh out on the Bills. It's going to be tough. He just had a great game on Sunday, as we all know, an interception early on. Let's score off that. 7-0 W. So 7-0 start. I would love 14-0 if we can put up some points here, and let's see. We get another interception, and we go up 14-0. So 14-7. But the Bills can easily, obviously, tie this back up. It's going to be 14-7 still. Score, and it's going to be 14-14. We go score in the 4th quarter. Interception from Brandon Stevens. I'm jumping in, and I'm ending this game, dude. We're at the 50-yard line. I do not want to see the Bills with the ball again. So let's just keep this ball in our hands, and let's just feed Jordan Mason until we get to the end zone, in my opinion. So for whatever reason, I got no blocks on the left side. We've barely got any productivity from the run game anyway. So maybe it's best we don't run it again. I don't know. So let's see. We do have... That's a good dot by freaking Cam Ward there. So we have T. Higgins for a nice first down there. We needed that. Let's go. All right. So we're going to put on True Clock now. That way the Bills are going to use all their timeout. Well, I don't know if they'll... yeah, they'll use their timeouts if I had to guess. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what they decide to do. Do we want... No, I don't want them to have any time on the clock. So let's see if they... No timeout. So no timeout from Buffalo. All right, I'll keep that in mind. So they're not going to use their timeouts, which I'm a little shocked by. All right, I'm going to just look for Mason underneath to get some productive yardage here. I just want to obviously push this downfield as slow as possible. So I'm just going to go to Mason here. Can I get a juke? Nope. And that's just going to go 3rd and 5. So now they're starting to call their timeouts. All right, so timeouts starting to be utilized. I'm going to run the ball twice and live with the results here because it's 14-14. I do believe we can get a first down. And yeah, that's going to be... All right, so the Bills are going to call their timeout. Do we kick the field goal? No, I don't think we do. I want to end this game in my hands. I'm not kicking the field goal. I'm going to make sure this ball stays within our hands, and that's what I'm going to do. So Brock Bowers or Trey Tucker for the first down is what I'm looking for here, but we do have Myers for the first down, and he drops it. No, he caught it. Wow. Okay, I thought he dropped that. Damn, that was massive. So we get to keep the ball. That was ballsy, but it worked out. Thought Myers dropped that, and he could have. It was a pretty tough catch, but thankfully he came away with it. So now that's going to take this down to really, obviously take the clock down quite a bit, and that's going to leave them with like 30 seconds. And we do have all three of our timeouts, so we can take our sweet time here. But I'm going to run the ball here and see what this gets us. We can get one more first. That gets us nothing. All right, so let's call our first timeout. We have 2 plays, get this to the end zone. I believe we can do it. So let's go. I want stick if possible. Is stick here. We got stick spacing. Stick spacing. I'm going to be... Wow, we got pushed back quite a bit. So that actually might not be the best thing to do right now. So I'm looking for Myers in the end zone, hopefully. Nope, we have T. Higgins underneath. Get in there. 4th and inches. Okay, well, I think we can get a first down with QB sneak at the very least. If not, obviously... the first down or in the end zone. So we should be able to sneak this for at least a first down. So let's just try that. So let's see. And that's going to get us a touchdown. So 22 seconds left. They scored 22 seconds. GG's, I guess. And just like that, we beat the Bills and we're on to the AFC Championship. Going for it on 4th down there was insanely ballsy. But I did not want to Bills with the ball back. So we're moving on to the next round. So of all teams we can match up against match up with in the AFC Championship, it's the Cleveland Browns, who have Jalen Milroe. So hopefully we can come out here and, I mean, the Bills were a tough team. So the fact that we took them down gives me a lot of confidence, and we're going to go up 7-0 early on, but they will respond with another touchdown. So maybe I shouldn't sleep on the Browns too much here. And they're playing great so far, and they do take a field goal lead. Can we go score a touchdown, please? Interception massive, 14-10. All right, and we get another one. Micah McFadden just keeps coming up with interceptions, and that might punch our ticket to the Super Bowl with Cam Ward and the Raiders. And we do. So we beat the Browns, who had Milroe making it to the AFC Championship. So 2, rookies from the same, well, they're not rookies anymore, but 2 guys from the same draft class get all the way to the AFC Championship. But now we're on the Super Bowl. Cam Ward gets it done. Let's go see who we're going to be matched up against in the Super Bowl. And now, to end off the video, hopefully with a Super Bowl trophy for Cam Ward with this Raiders team, we draw the Green Bay Packers in the bowl. So we have the ball to start the game, and we will not score, but neither will they on their first possession. We go up 7-0. They will respond with a field goal. Can we go score here? We do. It's 10-3. There's 15 seconds left before half. And all right, so we get the ball here, and I low-key want to see if we can just go score a touchdown and make sure we have the advantage in this game. That's what I'm looking for here, which is why I'm going to jump in and make sure we get an advantage, because we could take a 17-3 lead right now and really control this game. And I'm going to go T. Higgins here to start. Ooh, nice broken tackle, but he's going to get stopped still. So that was a massive, nice catch, which is why we traded for T. Higgins in the first place, man. We wanted a playmaker on the outside that Cam Ward could throw the ball to. Obviously, we have Brock Bowers as well. Don't get me wrong, but still, I mean, having 2 of those guys is massive. So that's going to be a nice 5-yard gain to Bowers. Do I want to run the ball? No. I'm going to see... They don't want to play press on T. Higgins yet. I'm just waiting for that moment that they might get, come up on T. Higgins, but they have not yet. So first down to Jacoby Myers. So we move the chains again. All right. I'm still waiting for the opportunity, but they're not giving it to me yet at this point. So Higgins, though, on an out route might get a lot of yards. So he is going to be there for the out, and that's not going to be a lot of yards, but still, yards nonetheless, 5 yards. All right, so we're also taking a lot of time off the clock, but it's only the 3rd quarter, so it's not like we're going to be taking all the time off the clock. All right, so I think I'm going to go take the shot. This isn't double coverage, but I felt like T could have maybe came down with that. I don't know why. I believe in him, man. I do. All right, we need a first down, and there's no better play to go to on a first down, but unfortunately, it's just too far out. I'm not going to run it. All right, so let's see if we can get a first down with Brock Bowers, where I can even scramble this. Yeah, nice broken tackle. I got really lucky there. So first down, nice. We needed that because we want to punch this in the end zone, as I said. I really want to play action them and see if we can get a one-play touchdown. T. Higgins, please. And nice catch. Oh, that's Tucker. Oh my goodness. Okay, Trey Tucker, I see you. Wow, that was massive. I thought that was T. Higgins I was forcing the ball to there. But all right, one touchdown could really give us nice control of this game. We get it in there. Yes, we can. One play touchdown. Or I guess not really one play touchdown. Still, you get the point. Touchdown, 17-3 lead. Can we get a stop on defense? We do. Go score again. We really take control of the game. Nice stop. And we are going to be up 20-3. And that's going to be all she wrote. We are going to end off this Raiders video with Cam Ward with a Super Bowl. Honestly, that didn't really take us much time at all. I think trading Maxx Crosby was the move, unfortunately. I really wanted to, keep him. But when I saw so many holes that we had, we still could have done it by keeping him, but having those 6 picks in that first year was really clutch because Starks became a good player. And then whatever else we are, Kyron Lacy ended up being okay. But I'm already blanking on who else we drafted. But regardless, really happy. T. Higgins trade was massive. Bowers developing into an X Factor, obviously awesome. But overall, get the Raiders to Super Bowl. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.